Yeah, so Rob, I was telling him I adjusted the space here that way we could all sit down here. Last time you didn't have a chair. So I was sitting there looking at the island, and I looked over and there's a freaking table here. I was like, with chairs, so why not just do it here?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense. Man, we're going to jump it off, though, but, dude, what about your brother last night, dude? His last fight?
Yeah, last
he went out there and won?
fight. Yeah, last MMA fight.
Oh, just MMA fights? Is he looking into doing some boxing or something like that?
I think that he could possibly. He's done a bare knuckle before, a BKFC fight, and I think he kind of wants a little bit of redemption on that. But I'm not quite sure. I know for sure he wants to be a part of the sport still. So
yeah,
I know Amped, one of the gyms that I train at, is opening a location in Wichita Falls in mid-July. So I'm sure he'll be down there coaching and. You know, he'll always be a part of the sport. It's who he is.
Heck yeah.
He said something last night that he was going to do some matchmaking too, and like promotional.
Yeah, because he's part of the promotional. He's part of that promotion now.
He's going to put together some bangers.
Yeah. As far as that goes, he works in the gym too, right? Does he still train and stuff?
Yeah, he trains. He goes to Amped on the weekends. And
does he train other fighters and stuff?
No, not right now at the moment.
Right.
He works at Fit Body Boot Camp in Wichita Falls and helps a lot of people just get in just regular shape, exercise type stuff. But he wants to be involved in the AMPed program. He's known Keith and all those guys a really long time. They brought him in 19 years ago, and they were very experienced, great fighters. Got a big wrestling program down there in Henrietta as well. Yeah, he wants to be a part, so I know he's going to get a couple nights in over there on coaching. I'm pretty sure he said he wanted to do that.
Heck yeah, I'm assuming you was in his corner last night?
Yeah.
How was that feeling, dog?
Man, it was, I always look at it, anytime I get to spin with him is always an honor. You know, I love him, he's my brother. And to share his last moment like that, you know, like before the fight, before he came out, I was like, enjoy every moment, bro. This is what it's all come down to, you know, all 19 years of you fighting, and this is your last one. Enjoy the walk through, you know, every second. And he went out there and put him away quick, early, and easy with no damage, and you couldn't ask for a better ending. It was an awesome night.
You introduce your buddy real quick?
Yeah, this is Torrance Glidewell, yeah. He's a 4-0 amateur MMA fighter, holds a 45 belt. He's looking to make a splash, man. He trains with me. He's from Chickasha, the north side of Chickasha. So shout out to them. Yeah.
Who won't hold that against you? No, I'm joking.
But yeah, he travels to come down here and train with, you know, some of the best he can. He goes with me on Sundays to Texas to train. So that's another hour. But if you want to take this sport seriously and you want to really get good, then you're going to make those sacrifices. That's part of it. You know, traveling to get different looks, traveling to see, you know, like he says, there's levels to this. And, you know, you want to get to that top level, you got to train with.
I training with Tyson, man. I was going to go pro at the end of the year. And I was like, nah, I got some more to do. I got work to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really hard to train. I apologize.
No, you go. Keep going, brother.
It's hard to train, like, and work a full-time job, like 5 days a week. I'm not in camp right now, so I've just been working. The only time I really train, we be sparring, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We train, but we just spar on Sundays right now. And I'm really just trying to help Tyson get his rounds in, because he's got that August 5th card coming up. He's fighting for that 45 belt for Rage in the Cage. And
speaking of August 5th, though, man, like, are you doing anything different now leading up to that than you did the last time?
Just the amount of rounds that I'm doing, because it's a championship fight. So I'm not training for 3 5-minute rounds. I'm training for 5 5-minute rounds.
Right.
And even though I plan on putting him away in the first or second round, I train always for the whole entire fight. I don't hunt knockouts. I don't hunt submissions. I want to slowly break you and outpoint you and pick you apart, drag you into those deep waters, because cardio is one of my biggest assets that I have. I come fully prepared. I always come fully prepared. You don't ever, if you lose because of your cardio, then you beat yourself, you know, and that's even worse than letting them beat you. You know what I mean? When you're too tired, you can't hold your hands up, or you can't do what needs to be done because you didn't work hard enough. So, like, for my last fight, it was on the hard sparring days. I would do my 3 5s with a fresh guy every round, and then I'd do an extra round. So I do 4. So today we did 6 5s. Did my championship rounds, and then I do an extra round to put on.
I can say that he is in shape, man. Like always, because I'm not right now. I'll be honest. He was whipping my, excuse my language, but
You can cuss, bro. It's good.
Right. Some just don't allow. But yeah, he was whooping my ass, man. It was really good rounds. Taught me some stuff. Let me know what I need to be doing, what not to be doing.
Well, I know Rob can probably relate to this. Growing up in the promotion point system in the military, the one thing that you can control that I was always told. I used to have a detachment sergeant named First Sergeant Drought. He would tell me the one thing you control when you get promoted is your physical fitness. It's on you to go out there to make 100 on that PT test. You can do everything you want to do. You can study for that test as much as you want, but it's on you. So I feel like there's some similarities with that fight game, like you said, with your cardio. You know what I mean? You control that.
It's my coach's job to teach me technique and skill, and it's my personal duty to make sure that I'm in shape to execute the things that they teach me. Because they're not strength and conditioning coaches as well, although they do know things like that and do help me, and they've given me quite a few of the workouts that I do use. But it's up to me to go do that because they have jobs as well, so they don't have time to be at the gym all day. I make sure that's my duty to make sure I get my physical exercise to be in the best shape that I can be in.
Hell yeah.
And it's disrespectful to not be in shape for a fight, really. If you're not putting in the work, the results will show. And if you're selling all these tickets and not putting in work, then it's very disrespectful in all reality.
One of the things I wanted to ask Tyson, I've been following the build up to this fight on your social media, posts and things like that.
I love it.
Is there a little back and forth going on right now with your opponent?
Yeah, of course there is. I like to set it off, so like to play with their head. It's mental warfare, and he bit right out the gate. I knew he would. He's a younger kid, and they like to bite on that and get emotional. To me, it's hilarious, so I'm just sitting back and laughing. But I'm good at this, so this is what I like to do. So the more emotional he gets invested, the more it's going to benefit me.
Okay.
So, like, I have really tough skin. I come from a different generation, so like, there's nothing. The only thing he said to me is like, "Oh, you're old" or whatever. And I'm just like, "Okay, cool, good one, bro. Good one."
Okay.
But yeah, it's back and forth, and it sells. It sells tickets. People are interested about it, and I plan on having him on again and seeing where it goes. Because we've definitely had some deals, some knockdown attacks on social media. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I've seen that, and it almost seems from the outside looking in, as just somebody scrolling through and keeping up with it, that what you're doing is calculated. Mm-hmm. It's like leading down a path that you want to go. Just kind of like you said, it's the mental warfare aspect of it.
Well, when you do this as much as I've done it, like you this is what it takes to keep stuff exciting. Like, okay, yeah, like you fight enough to where that's not enough. Now let's pour some extra pressure on it because you want the pressure. That's why this is why people fight, because you like this anxiety. You like this kind of feeling where you're like, it's frustrating, it's annoying, but like that prolonged gratification for that glory makes it all worth it. Like the stress that you put yourself under, that it's like when you're a kid and you got to fight somebody after school and you're tripping out all day and you're like, oh shit, and you're like, God damn, I can't concentrate on my work. I just know I got to go fight this kid at the end of school, and everyone's going to be watching and it's going to be a big deal.
Now it's all going to be on social media.
Now it's like 12 weeks of that emotion, here and there of like, oh shit, But that disappears. Like the more you fight, to me, it disappeared. Like the adrenaline has disappeared. I feel everything. I'm able to think clearly, and that part I really like. The clarity of my mind in there, and to be able to execute game plans and listen to my coaches instead of being frantic and my heart's beating through my fucking chest and I'm like a cartoon. Your fucking feet are spinning faster than your body can go. But now everything is nice and calm, and like I don't get really a lot of those nerves. Like I'm so confident that I just in my head I'm like, you're gonna go and you're gonna go destroy and you're gonna fuck this shit up, and there's nothing that's gonna stop you. Nothing's gonna get in your way, and you just have to keep saying that shit over and over. And every time you even have a doubt, you just no, fuck that, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to dominate. I'm going to destroy. You're mine. You ain't shit. And I just constantly reaffirm myself, and it works. It truly works. So. There's no doubt in my mind I'm going to win. My pace is, I'm going to just pour the pace on him. He's training to get into shape. They didn't offer him a title fight. I'm gifting him a title fight. He's not worthy of the title. He was just the last person that beat me, and then I climbed my way back, and I'm gifting this to him. Nobody's looking for him to book him in for a fight even. So I'm like, yo, bro, here you go. Here's a fucking present. Here's a paycheck. So be happy, and shut your mouth. You do what you're told, because I'm gifting this to you. So don't talk shit like you're the A side in this. I'm ranked way above him, so it's not gonna even really help my ranking. I just want this win back because I know it was a fluke.
I see.
And if I can talk a little shit and get into his head a little bit, because I know that he knows he's a veteran, so he knows that he's trained to lose weight. He knows that he hasn't been hungry like me. And deep down, he knows that all these things, it's checking off in his deal. And now I'm adding this other stress to him of the mental warfare. So, he can pretend all he wants, but I know all this shit is adding up and it's stacking up because I've been there. I'm a veteran. I know when I haven't done what I needed to do when I was training to lose weight and not training my skill. I always stay in shape. I always am on weight. I just took a fight at 55 where I had bulked all the way up to 170 pounds. Then I made 155, and here we are weeks after, and I've maintained that weight, which is extremely hard for me to just jump straight in back to a strict diet. But that's how hungry I am. I'm back already training just skill and technique and just bettering and adding to my arsenal instead of just training to lose weight. So I don't really understand his mindset where he feels he can even talk shit when he already knows I'm climbing levels above him. Where he's taken breaks and just chilled and gained weight, I've been just elevating my skills, elevating my cardio, not taking any breaks. I fought Saturday. If it wasn't for Memorial Day, I would have been back on Monday, and I was back Tuesday grinding hard. Back to it. It's all gas, no breaks with me. I want my belt, and I'm going to get the belt.
One of the things that you said, just within this conversation, the transition from being like the adrenaline to where now it's your profession.
Yeah.
At what point did you see that happening, or did you just okay, or you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You noticed there was a change.
Really, just the past year and a half, 2 years, when my coach Tom Scholoff, he's just really made a big impact on my career, mentally, physically, everything. He's such an amazing coach. He can just watch me moving around and be like, "Hey, does your back hurt?" And he's like, "Pow!" He'll just pop me right back into place. He's like, "I could see that something was off." That's how in tune of a coach he is. He's that smart, and he's built my confidence up. He's built my skills up to where I just feel like I'm a bad motherfucker. Before, where you'd always question yourself. I would always every fighter has. It wouldn't seem that way, but self-esteem issues almost. And you, just because you appear confident and you look like you're doing some confident ass shit and shit, we are all inside of our heads, fuck, I'm not good enough. Questioning yourself, everybody's always constantly. So to finally get that confidence and, be like, you know what, I am a bad motherfucker. I'm just going to take it and run with it, and I'm going to embrace it. And I'm just going to be that dude, I'm going to be that dude. And he put that mindset into me. He's like, you're a bad motherfucker, so be a bad motherfucker. And so that's what I try to do. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to be a bad motherfucker then. And I'm going to walk the walk, and I'm going to talk it too. So we're going to walk it all the way to the bank.
Yeah, letting them know. What I do know is that when you're determined like that, bro, it's destined to happen. And knowing that you know what I'm saying?
My last fight before, the whole time I was like, I didn't get nervous, not whatsoever. And I was telling my coaches, I was like, hey man, this is the first time I've never had no jitters, not anything. I was just so fucking sure that I was just going to go in there and handle business. And it just played out just the way I expected it to. Faced a little adversity, still overcame it, and then walked right through them. And then, so the same mindset for this. I know I'm just going to go in there. I'm going to handle this shit. And I'm going to handle it even better than the last time.
That's what happened to me in Lawton, bro, whenever I won that belt. And then you were the main event. You seen how calm I was, bro, when I did that jump and spin kick. It was just, I had a guillotine that was so tight. It was crazy, man. Calm, aware. I've seen so much. I just could tell. I just knew.
Yeah, it's good to get into that mindset.
I call it the flow state, man.
Yeah.
When you're in that flow state, man, things changes, man. I see that in wrestling a lot. You know, having the opportunity to, coach youth and high school kids. I see that a lot. I can always look at a kid and tell if he's in his own head before the match even starts, right? It's in their eyes, typically. The benefit I have as a coach to be able to teach my own son that is like, dude, look at your opponent's eyes, man. You know what I mean? Something I used to do when I was younger is if I seen a kid with their shoelaces untied, dog, that's the first thing I would tell them when we got on the mat. We about to shake hands. Your shoelaces untied. You ain't winning. You know what I mean? It's mindset.
Yes,
it's a mental mindset.
Mental warfare. It's
mental warfare, and stuff. And you said that earlier, and that's the first thing I thought about was shoelaces, man, when you said that earlier. But that's part of it, though,
that's right? Like when you do the face-off at the weigh-ins and you're looking at each other's eyes and you got your shit up, you can see sometimes you're like, he doesn't want it to be here. I can tell. He doesn't want it bad enough. I see it all the time. Because I don't like to look away. I don't want to be the first person to look away. And it might sound like a dumb superstition or whatever, but I'm not looking away. Like you can separate us or whatever, but I'm not going to be the first one to break because I'm the one that I want to be here more than you.
That's something Mike Tyson talked about, right?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, he talked about his journey to the ring,
and just building yourself up.
Building yourself up, and then he just stares at him, and then they look away. He's like, "I got that motherfucker."
Yes.
You know what I mean? I won that battle right there. If I won that battle, I'm winning the rest of it.
Yes,
you know
exactly,
what I mean?
exactly.
Well, it seems like that's part of the process, part of the game. Not just the conditioning and the technique and all that kind of stuff, but what I keep hearing is the mindset, but even the interaction before the ring of influencing how that person is going to react.
And sometimes shit doesn't always go as planned. We were at the fights last night, and I had some of my other teammates from Texas. They lost their fight because this girl thought she could bring her son to the cage, and it wasn't allowed. And they were told her, "No, you can't do that." And she pulled from the fight. I could already see that she didn't want to be there, and I witnessed the whole thing, and I was like, "All right, she don't want to be here. She's gonna pull." And she just kept making she's like, "I don't trust the judges. I don't like the way this commission is." And I was like, "Look, people have paid money. They have traveled long distances to get here to watch their family. Some people, they don't have a lot of money and could be broke, and they travel all this money to go see their kid fight from out of state or 4 hours away because this is Texas. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
So, and then to have the opponent puss out because they're dealing with a little bit of adversity, I'm like, it's a fight. There's going to be adversity in the fight, and sometimes shit doesn't go all the way smoothly. But you can choose to use it as fuel and say, you know what, this is going to make my victory that much sweeter because I had to go through all this bullshit to get there. Or you can use it as an excuse and be like, well, I'm not just going to do this shit because it's inconveniencing me before my fight, and I need to be concentrated. The fight's chaos. There is no concentrate. Once you go in there and get busted in the mouth, a lot of your game planning and all that shit goes out the fucking window, and you go into survival mode, and you're like, oh, yeah. I just thought it was really disrespectful, and I think they should suspend people for doing shit like that.
Oh, I agree. They should.
If no one's going to be held accountable for anything, then no one's going to learn a lesson. Mm-hmm. So, and like I said, people lost they have to get medicals done for these fights. $500 in medicals. You got to get, you got to travel. You got to train for 12 weeks for these fights or more. All that time and everything is all lost. You can't buy people's time back. Right. And if somebody was broke and they spent all their money to go see their kid do their thing that they could do, and they go back home with nothing, not even getting to see that, that's just a real bummer because there could have been a situation where you're like, oh, I'm going to use my ticket money to give back to you so you can get back home, or you'll have some money, or
right.
I was going to use my purse to give you money so you could, it wasn't going to be an issue. I could pay for your trip so you won't be out of pocket, because a lot of families don't have money. And if you lose your purse that night and you don't get to fight because somebody wants to be a pussy, you know what I mean? And that's what it is, because there was a bunch of shit talking about it on social media, and I was straight up called her out, and I was like, well, someone was like, I don't want to say it. I was like, I'll fucking say it. She pumped out straight up. And the coach was like, I pulled her because blah, 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 this. I'm like, well, you've been in the game just as long as me, and you already know nothing goes fucking smoothly all the time, especially somebody's first show. You know what I mean? And I was like, it was just a cheap excuse to bail to me. And it was disrespectful, and I think that they should be suspended or some shit like that.
Is that something you think all the commissions have to work together with, though? Because there's different fight commissions.
Oh, yeah.
You know what
The
I mean?
commission in Texas is, for fighting compared to Oklahoma, is way more. It was a lot of fucking hoops to jump through. It was ridiculous. The medicals they want, they were piss testing everybody. It was a fiasco with the commission, and yeah, I would recommend just fighting in Oklahoma. I wouldn't fight in Texas.
But what are they? Do they just test for like PEDs and stuff like that?
I think they test for everything.
Right.
So
Commissions are kind of weird anyway, though, man. I don't really see too much. Like, of course they have a job, but like they're just trying to like my hometown fight. Like, I was giving my mom a hug before I walked out and stuff. I gave my girlfriend a kiss and whatnot. They're like, come on, just trying to push me to the ring. I'm like, bro, chill out, you know what I mean? Like, there's like 5 of y'all, and y'all like got my team behind y'all, and like,
Right.
get the fuck away from me, you know what I mean?
yeah, they have to watch you wrap your hands, tape your hands, do everything. Like, it's like you're in prison almost. And you're just like, dude, I'm trying to.
That's why I feel like it's a caged animal waiting to go out there, though.
Like, you already have enough stuff to deal with when you're worried about dealing with the fight, and then you got to do a lot of this extra stuff. Like, for the weigh-ins here, like, the commission shows up, you fill out your form real quick, and you can get on the scale and weigh in. You can do all the fancy stuff later, but they know that we are dehydrated. We're dying at that moment for a couple of hours. We've done starved ourselves for however long to go suck all the water out of our body now. So now we want to weigh in and fucking start drinking Pedialyte and water and getting our weight back on, and then fill out our paperwork and do all our physicals and all that bullshit. Well, down there, they were like, no, you got to do all this other bullshit to not even know if they're going to make weight or not. You know what I mean? And some people didn't make weight. And you're like, Jesus Christ, man.
Do they have like a hydration clause in Texas?
No, that's really up to like the promotions. Is
it?
Yeah, like the commission doesn't really they don't really get too involved in that. Well, I'm not sure there, but here we have like the tribal commission. If you fight like at a casino, you're dealing with a tribal commission, which is different than the Oklahoma State Athletic Commission. So they got different rules, different regulations to fight onto the Indian land. Like, they don't let you jump. Like, when we used to fight at Sugar Creek, they won't let you jump on the cage for insurance reasons, like, at all. If you jump on top of the cage to celebrate, they will fine you like $5,000.
I feel like they should just make you sign a waiver. If you die, you die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's a young kid, Hunter Boone, was at the MCL, and they didn't have a pad secured and got took down into it, and it sliced his head wide open. He wound up having to get like 40-something staples in his head.
Damn.
Their insurance did not pay for him. Yeah, insurance didn't pay for him, or they didn't help him out or anything.
Wow. That was a 10th Planet guy, sorry.
No, you're good. The 10th Planet guy over in Altus?
From Altus, yeah.
Okay.
I think he just opened his own gym out in like Burns Flat or somewhere out there.
Is there any pictures of that?
Yeah.
I was going to show y'all Bubba's fight earlier, too. I just didn't know if we could, like...
Yeah, we might. Yeah, I'm sure we can pull it up.
Just have to commentate on it so that people listening can know what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Rob, you're the doc. You're the dude.
Am I the guy?
You're the dude.
Yeah.
It's a local news. Like, it showed a video and all
Yeah.
of the news thing. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
See if I can find it. Yeah, it was a bad deal.
Oh, you talking about the cut and stuff? And
No, yeah, I want to see the cut though. But yeah, we can play the video too.
yeah, there was a video of that also. I could probably find
See,
it.
that was him in the hospital. That was him on the way to the hospital.
He looks happy,
Oh,
so he's good.
So you're Torrance?
Yes.
Is that the name? How did you? So your background in fighting, where did you start? What did you start with? Style or sport or what?
Street fighting, man.
Street fighting? Okay.
It was
All
a
right.
banger, yeah. My uncle taught me some boxing, and so like just growing up, I would always throw the gloves on with my cousins or like just neighborhood kids that wanted to talk crap. Like, come on, I'll this house real quick.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Set the gloves on it. So,
Yo, Rob, you gotta check this out, bro.
it just was my whole life. Basically, I just knew I was meant to fight. That's what it is for me. I just knew.
Yeah, he's filleted open.
Dude, that is wild, dude.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to see that, do they have to go to his Facebook
Yeah,
and look at that?
probably, yeah.
If he wants people to look at it, I don't know.
Hey, ask him if we can show it. I can post it on the thing. Oh, so this is his fight?
Yeah. Hit him with a solid left too.
Yeah. So which fight is this?
This is Bubba's last one.
Bubba, what was his last name again?
McDaniel.
Bubba McDaniel. Okay.
He's on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
17
UFC veteran. Yeah, that was like one of the best seasons, man. Like,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
he made quick work of it. It was a takedown, ground and pound, and then was that the entire fight, or was that just the highlights?
It was like
that was just a highlight. Like,
Okay.
It was 2 minutes, and
So
Pretty much.
okay, so a 2-minute fight, takedown, ground and pound, just controlling,
2
and then
minutes and 22
TKO.
seconds.
That's a hell of a way to go out, man.
Yeah, on top.
Yeah, very rare does anybody get to go out on top like that.
If somebody wants to see that fight, where was it?
Yeah.
Where was it posted?
It was just on Facebook. Like, it was a news article and stuff.
Okay.
And,
I think
You'll be on
the
YouTube, bro?
Texoma page.
yeah, Texoma's
You'll be on YouTube anywhere?
page.com.
I'm sure,
TexasPage.com.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
All right.
It was on pay-per-view, so I'm sure they're going to drop the highlights of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that it's called Elite Championship Fighting, and they dropped the highlights of the because there was only 2 decisions last night. Almost everything
Yeah,
was
the
like
rest
a
of them
first round
finishes.
TKO, KO.
There was 1 sub, like 2 decisions, and the rest of them were KO, TKOs.
I did have a question for you, Tyson. Just from the start of this conversation, something that's sticking out as far as the knowledge that you have gained in your fight career, right? Between training, technique, I would say, I don't know if you call it like the business side of it, of the fight game, the money, the promotion as far as hyping up the fight and all that kind of stuff. How do you see yourself using that at some point whenever you've moved on from fighting?
Like just kind of as a coach as well. It's like I was telling him earlier, it's like you can use the disciplines that you learn in fighting in your real regular everyday life. If you can starve yourself and make weight and dehydrate to go fight somebody you don't know for fun, then you can organize your life and take care of every aspect and have that same discipline and apply it to the other parts of your life to be successful. So whatever I get into after this, I will be able to use that discipline and those strategies and to pass them on to younger fighters like Torrance. Like he's 21 years, he just turned 21.
Yeah, Sunday.
So he's got, he's getting an advantage by, being around these higher level guys that are going to give you that information that you need and to absorb it and to use it. And, that's up to him. But to have somebody that you can have, because I didn't have that when I first started fighting around here, there was no consistent coaching. There was there was me and a bunch of other fighters basically training each other, just beating the shit out of each other with no real guidance, no veterans around to give us any knowledge or pointers or tips. And now I'm at that point in my career. I'm about to have my 20th fight. I've been around for 10 plus years in the business. So I try to be like, I try to spit some game to these young kids and be like, yo, man, you got potential and you could possibly make some money. So, this is the road to success. I'll tell you, but you got to do it, but, that's just like growing up with your parents. You can choose to use their knowledge that they give you and apply it, or you can choose not to. But that's your job. That's their job, is to guide you. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to do, is help guide these youngsters. We built a fight team at Alpha and trying to pull up youngsters like Torrance and guys, that are really good. So we can build this fight team. So I have 8 to 10 kids now that I get to pump this information to and watch them use it or not use it, and it's to see the results that we're getting now, where we're winning fights. Like all of our fighters are winning. We're all progressing. We're all doing good. So what we're doing is working. So that knowledge that I'm pumping out, it reassures myself that I'm not giving them a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And so, I always try to tell people, find that recipe, whatever recipe that works for you, and then you can add to it. You don't have to change it, but add to it. Just keep adding to it. Just keep evolving. Keep open mind. I might be teaching Torrance stuff, but he's teaching me stuff at the same time. Like he's teaching me how to be a better coach, or how to listen to people from younger generations, and because we have an age gap. He could be my son almost. So, but just passing it down. That's what it's all about. Like, you didn't have it, now you get to be the person that you wish you had to mentor or something like that. Because I heard a quote a long time ago, and it was like, if you didn't always have the greatest dad or whatever, like, be the father that you needed. Be the
100%.
coach that you needed. Be,
Never heard
point
of
that to every aspect of your life. Be that whoever that person needed. Like whatever relationship that you have, whether it's a friendship, your mother, whatever, be the son that be the friend that you needed at that time, or, whatever. Like you can't fail, treating people the way you want to be treated. So I try to apply that to my life.
Yeah, I see. Torrance, I wanted to ask you, you have 4, are they amateur fights?
Yes, sir.
All 4 of your amateur fights, are they with Alpha MMA?
Actually, no. I come from Minotaur MMA in Chickasha, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Well, obviously we're in Oklahoma, but yeah. I kind of, like I said, I just started out street fighting, man, and I was like, I really want to fight. I want to get paid to fight. Like my coach was like, I don't think you should fight pro yet. And I'm learning now, but no, I shouldn't.
Okay.
What I mean? Not yet, at least. So I just started taking fights. Nothing too crazy. I'm not gonna lie. My coach picked my first and second fight, but once he seen what I did in my second fight, he's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? My third fight, I was 2-0, and my opponent was 4-0, and he's technically 5-0, but he had a fight that wasn't sanctioned, and it was in Louisiana. It was crazy. From the story of it, I don't know if it's actually true, but from the story, he said there was a video that I'd seen, but I didn't think it was real. He knocked out Dustin Poirier in his first amateur fight. It was, I don't know if you know who Dustin Poirier is.
I'm aware. Yeah.
Hot sauce, dog.
Hot sauce.
Yeah, he's a hot sauce. He got a foundation, right?
It was the first round too. But this is like 2008, 2009, who knows. He was a little older than me. He was like 38 at the time, and I was freshly 20. So yeah, here we are. I'm just getting to know the game a little better.
Yeah.
Tyson's teaching me a lot, putting me to work.
Sounds like you got an opportunity to attend Fight University over there.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, you're in good
it's-
hands, bro. I feel like you're in good hands.
Great hands.
I'm not from this area. I'm not from this area, but I know a lot of people that know you. Your upbringing, like you kind of talked about a little bit last podcast about you getting some trouble and kind of changing your life around through fights. So
Yeah.
I definitely think you're gonna. Man, I want to see you coaching a lot. Once you're done fighting, dude, I think you have so much to benefit for these younger generations, man. You know what I mean? What was your quote last time?
I'm gonna fight till I'm 140. These kids are pussy or something.
Dog, you said, dog, these kids are pussies. I fight till I'm 140.
Yeah, these kids are pussy. I'm gonna fight till I'm 140.
Yeah,
Tyson
I'm gonna
doesn't
clip
think
that shit. Nah, man, but I think it's beneficial, man, because a lot of kids coming up, especially kids that they don't grow up with dads and shit like that.
Yeah,
They just don't. They have to grow up trying to figure out their own decision on what they think a man would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is the worst case scenario, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you got kids that you got kids that got stepdads that beat their moms and shit like that. You know what I mean? So they see that in their head. You know what I mean? You got kids that the dad, they can't even talk to their dads. They're in jail or just not around. They want to talk to them. I think young men are looking for dudes to be like. You know what I mean? And I think somebody that's lived a life like you know what I mean? That's been through the trials and tribulations. I think you have so much to give back to the community, brother.
Yeah, I mean, that is part of the goal. Like I've talked to a few people about maybe doing a couple classes and maybe Walters, because I grew up there a little bit and they don't have any type of martial arts program up there. And who knows, man? Who knows what the future holds? I coach at Alpha MMA, so bring your kids down there and check it out. Teach striking and adult MMA. So we got some young kids that are about 16, 17, and
Solid.
And they came up
Jiu-jitsu.
a little rough as well, but they're, when you are around that type of environment, when you're around a bunch of athletes, and killers, your attitude will change. Everything changed. I've seen kids that were come in and they just thought they were thugs and thought they were hard, and then now they're some of the most respectful kids because now their ego's been checked. They know where they actually stand in reality. And now they know, like, oh, I need to start treating people with respect because I don't know if this dude knows something that I obviously don't know. Because once somebody goes to the gym the first day and they find out where they stand as a man, and it's not very good, not good standing, because that's how I got humbled my first time. A little tiny dude beat the shit out of me. I couldn't hit him. He just smoked me down. I thought I was a tough guy. And I was like, all right, I ain't shit. Obviously, I ain't shit. And I was like, and I could talk shit to this dude somewhere in real life and he could fucking kill me, with his bare hands. So I was like, all right, that's not happening. Now I'm aware. Now I can use that knowledge and be like, okay, let's learn how to fight. Let's learn how to be the man that you think that you are. When everyone was walking around like, I'm a bad motherfucker. I see red, I'll kill you. I'll fucking lose my shit and everyone's done. Reality is you lose your shit and then you get fucking KO'd and you fucking sleeping. And it's a bad deal.
Boys trying to help you out.
A wrestler takes you down, pounds you out. I made that mistake before I had to fight.
Especially in Oklahoma, when like how many kids wrestle? Coming up, holy cow! That they already have an understanding of just at least grappling.
Once you can put any puncher on their back, there's no more punching power. So it's pretty much over.
It's what was it? I think Josh Barnett made the quote: "Is how do you turn a black belt into a white belt?"
Yeah,
he says, "One punch at a time."
One step at a time. I like that.
Hey, speaking of quotes from famous UFC fighters, MMA fighters, Randy Couture, man, he had a good quote, man. He said the person that loses the first match, right, is usually at the advantage of the rematch, right, because he knows what he did wrong, right.
Yeah.
So going into your rematch for the title here, right, that's kind of suspect, right, because you broke your hand and stuff like that. So I've been thinking about how to equate that to your situation, and honestly, I can't figure it out.
That's what I was thinking about.
I can't figure it out, like, because you start off with a broke hand, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now like he has a false sense of confidence.
Yeah.
Right. So it's almost like you lost twice. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, when we talked on the internet, he was like, well, I didn't know your hand was broke. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to fucking tell you it's broke. It's called poker face. Like, anytime you break something and you want to be a warrior and keep pushing forward and fighting, then you can't let them know it's broke because they're going to attack it. So a lot of fighting is poker face. And like, I've won with a broke hand before. So I was like, and you watch Uriah Faber, he broke both of his hands and was still in the fight and still throwing elbows because he didn't want to give up because he's a bad motherfucker. And I don't want to give up neither. I'm like, I'm still going to piece you up with one hand or not. I still wanted to win the fight. So he was like, well, I didn't know it was broke. I was like, yeah, I wasn't going to tell you it was broke. And he got those little calf kicks, and that was really that he capitalized off both of those. So I'm just going to work on checking that calf kick. And just now that I know that my hand is strong, I'm not going to give him any time to set anything him up. I'm trying to pour the pace on super thick right out the gate because I know his cardio is going to be trash. And I want to gas him out. My cardio is good. I'm going to gas him that first round. So in case we do the next four, he's just going to be nothing. He ain't going to have shit for me.
It kind of cracks me up because he posts that picture in your comments all the time where he's getting his hand raised and shit. But in his bio, bro, it says like living in the past. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't. What's his?
Most of these young guys don't know what the fuck.
It cracks me up, bro.
He's saying one thing and then doing the dumb shit the next day.
Cracks.
Doing the exact opposite the next day. He's like, don't make excuses. I was like, well, it's not an excuse. It's like really a reason. And I was like, and anytime you probably probably lost a fight before, you probably had a reason, possibly an excuse. It's like everyone has an excuse for every fucking thing.
So. Nice
what about the shit he was talking though with about your wrestling?
Never dwell on the past.
Yeah, his buddies were in the background because his buddy's a wrestler, and so he's like, "Well, neither one of y'all can wrestle." You know what I mean? Well, I'm like, "Well, this isn't a wrestling match; it's a fight."
What happened with that though? Because I was watching the live feed. I was watching the live feed, right? And like they was talking about something, and all of a sudden the video went everywhere else, and he come back and kind of looked distraught. It's kind of like one of his buddy threw him around or some shit. I don't know what was going on.
I have no idea, bro. Like I don't pay attention to other people. Like those kids can talk all the shit they want. They're not fighting. They're nobodies. You know what I mean? They're nobodies. So why would I let some nobody affect me? So I've just focused on Colton and just focused on what I was there to do. I'm not there to let somebody else distract me by talking shit. Like they can talk and say whatever they want. Me and him are fighting. Yeah. If they want to fight, then we can fight later. That's no issue. But as far as what I'm trying to do, I don't have time to focus on them. I have, like he said, I'm calculated. I'm not trying to let anything distract me. I know what I'm doing and what my plan is. So I'm not gonna let those other kids talk, share, get under my skin. I don't let people on the internet bother me. Like everyone's entitled to their opinion, and it ain't none of my business. Although they try to make it my business sometimes, but fuck them. Like if. I'm going to say what I feel, you're going to say what you feel, and if you want to get hurt about it and get all emotional and upset, then that's on you. I try to use logic, and I try to use my thought process to defeat everything, because if you get emotional, you're going to make mistakes. Just like in fighting. Everybody's first emotion when you get hit is obviously you're fucking angry now, and you want revenge. But if you go into the revenge blindly and they've got skill, then you're going to get just fucked up even worse. So you have to be able to control that emotion and calculate and be able to game plan and be like, okay, this is what I'm up against. This is his attributes. These are my attributes. And what can I? And I'm like, I'm a fucking supercomputer. I'm looking for patterns. As soon as that first as soon as that first bell rings off, I'm looking for patterns, and I'm start analyzing shit and. So yeah, it's like fucking calculate.
When you're preparing for a fight, you study your opponent, right? You're looking at, like you're saying, looking at past fights, or maybe even excuse me, not just their past fights, but the fights you've had with them. What are you doing as far as like fine tuning your grappling, your striking, things? What's your coach giving you to work on that probably you didn't do, say, a year ago or 2 years ago?
My coach Tom always has me working on something different. Like once he feels that I've elevated that whatever he was teaching me, he'll move on to something else. Like we were working on a lot of wrestling and takedowns and getting my hips to where they needed to be so that I can have a stronger sprawl and a stronger shot.
Yep.
I have been working a lot of wrestling. And started excelling in that. I used to never shoot. I was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player, so I would accept going to my back and to my guard and trying to play Jiu-Jitsu and look for sweeps and stuff. But now I'm trying to wrestle up, get you against the wall, get my takedown. So I'm feeling confident in that now. So we've moved on to the elbows and things like that. So for the past about 3 to 6 months, we've been working lots and lots of elbows, and then he'll still throw in refreshers of other things, and but yeah, lots of elbows right now. I'm feeling deadly with them. I love them. I can't wait to crack him open with one.
He's got the pads that he throws with too, and I got cracked one early. It was nice, man.
The elbows cut you up, so if you can cut somebody up and get that blood in their eye, that shit really hurts, stings, it's annoying, and they stop fights over that stuff.
So that's where like on top of like fight IQ, understanding not just the punches and the kicks and the takedowns and all that, but working towards, I would say, like almost working towards the objective so that you get the win.
Yeah.
Whether it be a knockout or submission, or now it's a fight stoppage, but a win is a win.
Yeah. There's little tiny minuscule little things to everything that you do. Like even just throwing an elbow. If you keep your fist closed, it pushes this muscle out, which is going to prevent
on
that.
The forearm.
Yeah, it's going to prevent this bone from cleaning that spot out. But if I open it, it goes flat, and now when I throw the elbow, it slices, and the muscle is no longer there. It's just going to hit straight bone first.
No idea. Had no idea.
So the knife hand in the army,
yeah, just turn it sideways. Yeah. Get a machete.
Yeah, because as soon as you squeeze it, that muscle pops, and then it's going to keep that elbow from slicing. So,
damn, bro.
Just little tiny things that your coach can show you, like slice, like different angles, different.
And this is why
everybody here is throwing elbows, checking this out.
And this is why this is educational podcast.
There we go. Right. Yeah.
Just like little tweaks, like you're like, oh, I've been doing my guillotine like this for years, and then your coach can be like, hey, just do this, and you're like, oh shit, that made it 10 times faster. It's like just little tiny things. And Tom is the greatest at
crazy
that.
Too, man. Like it'll be the most weird hold ever. Like I was in an arm triangle for one of my teammates a while back, and it was like a guillotine. I didn't have a mouthpiece or nothing in it either. The first time I fought out of him, he's like, what the? Because it was tight. He like had his hands all wrapped up, but he went like 2 fingers barely, and he just had it was to do. It wasn't even the grip. It was he had like
the space between his arms. And
I was like, whoa! I normally can fight out those pretty well. Nope, it was just 2 fingers too. I was like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, but from turning it from an air choke to a blood choke, it's just the small little details can change the dynamic of everything.
Can you explain that real quick? Air choke, blood choke.
Well, yeah, your blood choke is whenever you cut off these arteries right here, you pass out instantly. You know, some people they won't get that there. They won't get the correct angle or whatever, and they'll just be trying to just squeeze the air out of somebody with a body triangle, or they can't finish the choke and they're just trying to gas them. But yeah, when you do a blood choke, it's 2 seconds and you're out. You know, it doesn't take much. If it's all the way in, you're going out. So yeah, some people are like, "I'll hold my breath when you're choking me." I'm like, it's not a breath choke.
Go ahead.
They're not choking you out because they're holding you underwater. It's because they're squeezing off the blood supply to your brain. And
when you were talking about the training and what Coach Tom was bringing, you said traditionally Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, comfortable flying off your back, some success there. But when he added the wrestling in, what clicks is like, you know what I mean?
Just him, like I never wrestled growing up, and now just doing like basic wrestling stuff, giving that medicine ball, working those shots, both sides over and over, thousands of sprawls, like shooting up and down the mat to you know, because I don't have wrestling shoes. I fight barefoot, so you know you get those blisters on the top of your foot from those shots. But we just worked it. Getting my hip stronger was one of the biggest key points that he was like, you don't have the hips that we need you to have. So he got me doing kettlebell workouts to strengthen my hips. He taught me all kinds of stretches specifically for my hips. And now I'm working sprawls. I'm able to get off of the cage. I'm able to get up where we're not settling for our back no more. We're getting up as soon as somebody takes me down, we're getting up. We're going to use the cage wall. We're getting back to our feet and we're going to break away. And I've managed to do that all my last few fights. Every single fight, I've managed to get up off the bottom
and go back to your tools.
Yes, against Colton, against King Coulter. Me and Riles didn't really go to the ground, but I was able to get back, and Tony Clanton, everybody. I got up with everybody. So the wrestling to me is really not so much of an issue. I just don't rely on it because I'm a striker. I always want to keep it on the feet to my bread and butter. But I will wrestle if I have to. Okay. And I know how that's only helped my cardio even more because wrestling cardio, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu cardio, grappling cardio is different than striking cardio.
Okay.
Like to me, I can strike for an hour straight and it's nothing, but grappling off the fence especially is just grueling, tiring. They're raking you down off that wall and you got to work your freaking way all the way back up, and it's just brutally tough. And they're punching you at the same time, those little short shots, knees to the thighs. I do what I hate, so I know how things feel, so that's what I try to do to people. I'm like, I'm going to knee him right in the thigh. Right. When you was a kid, someone would come over to you and they'd be like, dead leg, and they just hit you right in the fucking side of the thigh with their knee, and you go, motherfucker. That's what I try to do against that wall. I'm like, I know if I work these legs, the tree's going to fall, chop these legs.
So, Torrance, you said you started out with like a street fighting background and then got into mixed martial arts, MMA. What have you gravitated towards as far as your style now that you are an MMA? Are you more of a striker, the grappling,
especially since you're working with Tyson, too. Right. I wonder if that has any difference, like any changes in your trajectory, if you will.
I'd really just say like I'm more of a striker for the most part. Whenever I want to go pro, I like to do some bare knuckle boxing and stuff. Okay. And like maybe do some pro MMA fights, but for the most part, I prefer to strike. Yeah. But whenever I first started, I would talk so much like crap about the ground and jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and my coach was like, "Come on, I don't want to do that, man. Nobody wants to do that." I would just be like, I don't want to say like gay, but that's the word I was gonna use.
Deleting that out.
I just didn't know if I could say that or not.
That was at what's it? Yeah. Delete that out.
So
Minute 8, yeah, dog. It's delete, dog. Matter of fact, I might delete all that shit.
He said,
It's gay now, Dave.
you gotta wait outside now, Torrance. You gotta wait outside.
Man.
You're gonna have a riot at your fight.
Well, I just got canceled, bro. Thanks a lot.
That's not what I meant. Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it shouldn't be used as like. Well, that's their word now,
But yeah, the grappling portion isn't something that you would care to do. And
Yeah.
what made you change your opinion on that as far as the grappling?
I kept getting taken down and choked out in practice, man. Yeah.
It changed a man's life, man.
Yeah. So no, I get taken down a lot too. Whenever, well, not a lot. They pulled guard twice in my third fight and my fourth fight. He pulled guard too, or no. I had the guillotine and like my legs were too close and he kind of just pulled me down to the ground. He was strong, bro. Strong. He wasn't a big fella, but so yeah, I was just like, man, I'm gonna start training on the ground a lot harder. And I did my last entire camp, like 8.5 weeks, just ground. Because my opponent was, I believe, a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but he had some good kickboxing too.
Okay.
And he was 4-0, also a champion at 155 for kickboxing and MMA.
What fight promotion do you fight under?
Just all over right now. The main one that I've done was Super Fight Night. It was his main event. He was a lot in February, and that's where I won my belt. Was the co-main. I fought for them. That was my third fight for them. So they was like, "Yeah, we'll throw you a belt fight."
Okay.
That was that. But I'm going back in November to defend my featherweight belt. They offered me a 55 belt also, but I was like, I'll go ahead and defend the featherweight one since it's already in your promotion.
Right.
Then that'll be November in Chickasha.
All right. We gotta put that on the calendar.
Yeah,
Derek.
sure. You'll definitely see a difference in it too. I don't think y'all have seen any of my fights, but you'll see I've been putting in the work whenever it comes because Tyson's been teaching me a lot, man. Him, Bubba, Chris, Marine, Keith Sutton, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Callie Cumbie, Dante Johnson, Tom Shoff, and
Some big shout outs there, though.
Yeah.
That's a good team.
Shelby Anderson too, man. Yeah, Shelby's a solid jits wizard, man.
Yeah.
Crafty.
He's a fucking wizard.
Literally.
Actually, there's a few guys I train with on Fort Sill that were talking really good as far as like his jiu-jitsu. So no, that's good. It sounds like you're in good hands. So you train out of Minotaur and Chickasha?
Yes, sir.
That's your primary
shout out
gym?
my brothers there too.
Okay.
Damon Miller, Christian Bourdwan, Terry Farley, my manager Amanda Farley.
Hey, dog, Chickasha moved up to 5 this year, dog. They're the enemy, dog.
He's saying that for Elgin Wrestling, right? Yeah.
No love, dog. No love.
Yeah.
No, it's all love, man. No, it's all love. I'm just joking. They got some good coaches
Yeah, no,
out
shout
there.
out my brothers and family at Minotaur for sure.
How much? What's your training split between your home gym and then training with Tyson?
Right now, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I haven't been training much. I just go and spar with Tyson every now and then.
Okay.
Because my gym I only get into training when it's time to really fight.
Okay.
When I say 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Is what I like. I feel best at
All right.
8 to 12 week camp. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the 12-week camp for my next fight. But yeah, I'm not in camp right now.
Okay.
Getting fat,
yeah.
just working.
Well, check this out, Tyson. This is one of my questions I was going to ask you, but it just so happens you brought the young buck here with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? What's some good solid advice you could give somebody like him or anybody else that's coming up right now? You know what I mean? He has the opportunity to train with you right now.
Yeah.
He was just talking about maybe only getting into the 12-week fight camp and stuff like that. I know what you're thinking. Like, no, you got to keep banging, dog. You got to keep banging.
I was just finna say something too. I was like, that's one of the things we're fixing to change.
We're gonna stay ready. So I want to know what your advice is on that, on something like that.
I was just gonna say I'm sitting to the right of Tyson. You know, I'm looking at Torrance, and over the left shoulder, I could feel the energy.
I'll be too, bro. I can feel it too.
I was like, man,
Once I get to that point in my life where I can just train full time again, I'll definitely be doing that. But I've got a lot of stuff that I got to take care of back home and whatnot. You know,
That's understandable, man. Everybody has their problems
so
and
I
stuff.
got to
You
make
know
some
what I mean?
money before I can.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. But there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, for
There
sure.
is,
for
man.
Sure. Whenever
There
I'm
is
in
a,
camp, I wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm training by 4.
Yeah.
And I get done at like 6:30 and go to work from 7 till sometimes like 11 at night. You know what I mean? So, and then I'm right back up the next day to go train. Like, when it's time, I put in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been coming down. Like if it rains in Chickasha, he'll drive to Lawton and train with me during the day, and we'll get a session in. And sometimes he'll stay for the 2-hour class, or but usually every Sunday he goes with me to Texas to spar. So he's staying pretty consistent with that. But I guess we can let it slide since he's got to pay the bills. I guess.
I'd say it's the 4th or 5th week we've been sparring now.
Yeah.
He's a brother for sure.
How intense are the sparring sessions as you're getting closer to the fight? Like, you know, or
Good
is it more like we're doing 50%, but we're working new technique? You see what I'm saying?
Usually it just depends on who I'm sparring.
Okay.
Like if it's somebody that I know can give me trouble, then we're gonna get to work. If it's the new guy that has no experience, then we're gonna play around and it's not gonna be as intense. But
Is that
I
what you
usually
did like that earlier?
I usually try to pick it up. I usually keep it always pretty intense.
Okay.
But I don't spar like I used to. Where I usually would just spar every day. I usually spar maybe once or twice a week.
Okay.
And the rest is usually technical. We work more wrestling and jiu-jitsu and wall work than anything. My striking is already at a pretty high level that Tom's got me at, so we just keep that sharp and basically develop all my other skills where I'm lacking at, because that's what I'm best at, so I don't have to try to train so hard at it. It comes naturally. The footwork and the punches that he puts together for me and these combinations, like he puts things together for me. He's like, these work for you, so let's do them, you know. He'll give me game plans and I just try to do what he says, like a kid playing a video game and I'm the dude in the video game. And
Yeah.
Tom's got the controller.
yeah, I give him all the credit for he's turned my whole career around, took my fight IQ to another level, took my confidence to another level. And like that's one of the things I could give advice to somebody is find a coach that you can learn from, that you can relate to, that can speak your language, because we all learn in different ways. Like sometimes like drilling doesn't cut it for me. Like I need to go and lose 1,000 times that way and be like, all right, I got to figure it out. I got to learn this one the hard way, you know. And sometimes I tell people, like, they're like, I'm never going to use this. I'm like, you use it. I'm like, but you just haven't developed a game yet to where you're going to use it. And I was like, in 6 months down the road, you're going to be like doing something different. And you're going to be like, I see where this is available now. And I feel like I can do this, or I can this, and your game just grows and grows and grows. But the only way it's going to grow is if you're training every day, constantly growing. You got to water the plants.
Well,
you know,
you had brought this up in the last podcast. You can get push-ups or squats or jump rope anywhere, right? As long as you're moving and doing something and staying refined.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be all at once. You don't have to kill yourself in the gym for 2 hours at 8 o'clock specifically every day. Like if I'm mowing grass all day, like me and my guys, like. And it motivates them, and they're not even training for fights. They want to do push-ups with me because that's just the male ego is like we're all in competition with each other. Nobody wants to look like the weakest link. And if you got friends, and if you got friends to where you can have that kind of like fun where you're not bringing each other down, we're pushing each other to get better.
Everybody's getting better. Yeah,
we're like, all right, we just mowed the grass. Let's knock out 50 push-ups. Boom, 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 boom. All right, we did another yard. Let's go knock out another 50. Boom, 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 boom. By the end of the day, you done hit 250 push-ups.
And that adds up.
Like when I'm teaching my kids class and they're doing their warm-ups, I'm hitting push-ups. I'm doing pull-ups over on the bar. Like I'm sneaking little moments of my workout in whenever I'm available to do it. You probably see fighters all the time who are constantly shadow boxing, like boom, boom, boom.
I think every man alive does that.
Yeah.
Get out the shower, look in the mirror.
Yeah, just like you. Like you got a mirror in here. I have a huge 6-foot mirror in my living room, and just all night I'm in there, just
Is that the one behind when you do the videos?
No, that's another one. I've got another one, George. Look over here and over here. So
it says Texas on it, right?
Yeah.
I won't hold it again.
Hey man, it's actually gotten me quite a bit of practice, because people always want to fight about it. So
Good.
it's kind of one of the main reasons I did, because I moved to Wichita Falls. I was probably like 13 or 14, and that's when I still started watching college football. And since I lived down in Texas, I might not move back to Oklahoma, so I'm a Texas fan. And I moved back to Oklahoma, and then everyone's like, "Fuck you!" I was like wearing a Texas shirt, walking down the airport, and people were literally flipping me off, fucking doing the horns thing, like "fuck you, bro." And I was like, "God damn, these motherfuckers are crazy."
Man, I got a lot of hate in there, dude.
It's a religion.
So I was like, you know what? This might work in my favor. Like every time we go to barbecues, like we always get in a little scrap or something. So it's always fun, I like to cause a lot of controversy sometimes. So it was fun to have, the adversity.
They're gonna hate us whenever we got bigger mics, like on TV and stuff. They're just gonna hate us. This shit we're saying, man.
Hey man, one of the last things I want to talk to you about is you're doing it right now with social media, promoting fights and stuff like that. Is social media, you know what I mean? Like we got, I'm 21-year-old here.
Yeah.
I think me and you're about to say I'm 38, you're 40, right?
Yeah, just turned 40.
Rob,
43.
43. We're all about the same age, the young buck over here. You know what I mean? But it was different with us growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can remember when text messages was a big thing. Like, what? I can just text all my boys, parties here, this and that, you know what I mean? Promotion and stuff, you know what I mean?
The driver
it's different from Torrance, right?
Yeah.
It's different for Torrance, though. He grew up knowing this aspect, It's something that we're kind of having to learn as we're going up.
Yeah,
and a lot of it is a pain in the ass, because it comes to a point where, like, you got to know it. Even me, I do it with the podcast, right? It's like, I don't like to mess with all that crap. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Rob to open my eyes to a couple things, I wouldn't do as much as I do now. You know what I mean? But I think there's lessons to be learned here. So what would you say to give advice for up-and-coming fighters on social media, do's and don'ts, maybe, if you will?
Well, it's a job. It's a fucking full-time job, because they in order for these bigger promotions to want to sign you and actually pay you, they want you to come fully loaded. They want you to already have a fan base. And the fastest way to do that is to promote yourself on social media. Get you a fucking TikTok. I have one. I don't fucking like doing the shit, but I do it just because this is what it takes. I want to get out there on every avenue so I can get some money. Like I'm trying to make money doing what I love. So if this is what I got to do, then that's what I got to do. Instagram, Facebook, go live. Because people have short attention spans these days. You can't just promote one thing and be like, once a week and expect people to pay attention. Like, I'm on social media every day. Fights coming up. Get your tickets. Get your merch, which I do have merch, by the way. Yeah. Go get your merch.
Where's that at? Where's your merch at?
I have the links on my Facebook. Mm-hmm. It's at Starlight Productions, I believe. Okay. I've got hoodies. I've got women's clothes, kids' clothes. And I'm going to be dropping multiple designs throughout the months. But yeah, get on that shit. Like, don't be lazy. If this is what you want, it's going to be a job, and there's going to be parts of it that are hard. It's not always going to be fun. Just like any job, there's going to be parts where you got to actually do work, and this is part of it. Like, as you were saying, I'm older, so I didn't grow up into taking all this time to post what the fuck exactly what I'm doing every goddamn second of every day. Some people are like, "Oh, I'm going to take a shit. See y'all in 5." I'm just like, Jesus. The way people have so much time to post, it's tough. Like, and people get really in depth with shit like that. Like, I see so much drama, and I'm like, why would you post this?
Nothing left to mystery, right?
Yeah.
Like, taking a shit is probably the easiest time to post that, though. Like, you ain't doing shit else. Yep, guys, taking a shit.
But yeah, man, like if you want to do it, then do it, man. Fucking do the podcast. Put yourself out there. Like, you're already putting yourself out there to get your ass beat. You might as well put yourself out there to look like a fool anyway. A buzz is a buzz, whether it's positive, negative. And learn how to promote, like saying certain keywords in your posts that will reach audiences that you didn't think that would reach.
Okay.
Like my last fight, it's got 12K views. I think I've had it on there for like 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
And that the way I worded it on there reached a whole different, it reached a world audience, because I normally I put Tyson Swisher Sweet Southern versus my opponent, but I put Rage in the Cage in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so like Rage in the Cage is a popular saying, not just for Oklahoma, but like a lot of promotions. And I had like 30% of my viewers were from Vietnam somehow.
Yeah.
Because I have my analytics. I can view my analytics and stuff. And I was like, so I learned through doing and trying that the way I word things, the way I put certain hashtags is going to put me into audiences I didn't know. And so I've watched my views on all my other fights go up as well. Hundreds of views on each fight because they saw my fight and I reached a whole plethora of other people.
Yeah.
And that led them to my other fights. So I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I need to pay attention on my titles and my hashtags and use more hashtags so I can reach a broader audience. Like it's a trial and area. That's why they have social media managers and stuff now, because they've mastered the art of reaching audiences, getting people's attention.
Right.
People will pay to boost their, because like when you post on Facebook, it reaches like the algorithm only allows it to reach 5% of your friends.
Okay.
So if you've got 1,000 friends, it's only reaching 500 friends or whatever. Like that's not shit. What's the point of having all those friends if you can't get your media out there? They want you to pay to boost it so it can reach out to more and more people. So they have whole managers for this shit, and I'm not trying to pay, so
right.
I'm just trying to learn on my own as I go, and
Yeah.
I'm not a beautiful young woman that can, just post one picture and get 10,000 followers. So you got to grind, work hard, and just keep putting yourself out there, and people are going to talk shit, and you just got to have thick skin and let that shit roll. And you're going to have people that, validate you, and they're like, dude, that shit's lit. That shit's cool. I posted my first TikTok video, one of my highlights, and the most positive response I got back was, the name is legendary. We love Swisher Sweet, and that was cool, and then I posted another video and someone's like, fuck this video. And I was like, fuck you, bro. Like, I didn't say that, but I think in my head I was just like, oh, whatever. Let the haters hate. It ain't gonna bother me now.
Oh, they're definitely gonna be there.
Yeah. Man, I'd like to say thanks, man. When you do live videos, I really appreciate you giving me a shout out on your live videos.
Oh,
dude.
no, man, I appreciate
Dude,
the
I really
opportunities you
appreciate
give
that,
me as
man.
well.
Dude, I love it, man. Since that, speaking of analytics, I've seen an uptick in my analytics. So thank you, brother.
Good.
I really do appreciate that, man. And one thing you said is you told people to go into that Derek Bean rabbit hole, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and stuff. And I've seen uptick in the analytics from the first and second, third episode and stuff like that, dude. So I really appreciate
Yeah,
that. brother.
if that could, you never know, that could lead to something that's going to put you in a place where it could help you solve your problem, you know what I mean?
man, I love that, dude. Thank you, brother.
No problem.
I really appreciate it.
No problem
man.
at all, man. And I'm going to keep doing it, you know what I'm saying? Real recognize real. That's one of my slogans, and people that put on for me, I put on right back. That's how it's supposed to work. We're all supposed to be working together, so if we can come together and make something big like that happen, that would be fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? And plus, it's a very interesting story, and people should need to get involved in shit like that.
Yeah.
If we all come together, shit like that won't happen, and we can get shit solved right out the gate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I watched his last one with y'all too. It was interesting, man. I listened to the whole podcast. I was at work just cutting sod, and my boss was like, "What are you listening to?" I was like, podcast Tyson did."
Yeah, a lot of people hit me up about the last one, and they're like, "Man, you're starting to actually sound like you know what you're talking about."
Well, this is going to be better, dude. I went out and I got a different program for voice and shit like that, so this one's going to sound a lot better.
Cool.
Yeah, this is a great mic too, man.
Oh yeah. The Blue Yetis, they're really good, man. I wouldn't. You always got to progress to make shit better, regardless. Even if it don't sound bad, it can sound better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Torrance, what about your social media? Where can people find your fights and what you're up to, or do you share like that?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. You can check it out. I'm on Facebook too, but it's kind of like a personal Facebook for people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll let y'all and stuff, but
No, man, post that shit live, dog. I want you to get I want you to get dick pics, dog.
back to what I said.
No.
The Northside Thug MMA just on Instagram. It's just all
The Northside Thug MMA.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And then
I'm gonna
my
check that out. I'm
Facebook
gonna add that.
is Torrance Daniel. I don't like my last name. I don't really know my
Send
name.
all the dick
Yeah.
pics to
Yeah.
Northside Thug.
No, but remember, it was a thug. I appreciate y'all, man, showing up and stuff, man. Dude, if if your brother's up there, I won't be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to edit all
He
that.
has to get cleared by his probation officer to leave the state. He has to get it just to leave the county.
Shit, man, Tyson,
But he
man,
can come up here and
man,
train
that's
and
about it,
stuff,
brother. You want to put anything
know
out
nothing about the
anything
law,
coming
but
up
I'm
other
not
than
saying
the
nothing. We just
championship
say I was in
fight?
Yeah, August 5th, Altus, Oklahoma.
Hell
Come
yeah.
watch Swisher make fucking dream come true, man. Gonna be the champion. I look
yeah,
forward
man,
to
I-
knocking
I-
this kid out. You know,
I changed some stuff.
thanks
on
to
the
my
podcast
sponsors, Law and Bail
sound
Bonds,
better.
Warriors United, Goose Reapers, Civil Savage. If you need some craft cannabis and you have a dispensary, hit up Jeff Crabtree or DM me, and I can get you connected with anything that you need. Clean cuts, lawn care. Swisher be out cutting with them. I'll cut without my shirt for extra $5. So just kidding, ladies. But yeah, shout out to Alpha MMA, my brother Bubba McDaniel, Tom Showoff, Derek Lemos, Shelby Anderson, my coaches, my teammates, everybody. Thanks for having me being podcast. It's always an honor and a privilege. Robert, it's always an honor to talk to you as well.
Oh, likewise, man. Thank you.
Torrance, watch out for
you for
Torrance
having me.
Daniel, man. He's coming up.
Yeah, he is.